Welcome to the Oakville Public Library's Take and Make program. Today's project is an Earth Day planter that we're going to customize with vinyl decals that have been cut on the Cricut Maker in the Glen Abbey Creation Zone. Inside your kit, you'll have a planter pot as well as an envelope with all the pre-cut decals. So these are what we're going to use to decorate our planter. You'll then have a piece of transfer tape and a wooden skewer, and this is going to be used to remove excess vinyl from our design, and this process is known as weeding. Now, if you happen to have a weeding tool such as this, or really any other sharp tip tool such as a seam ripper or even a sewing needle, you can use those instead. Now, complimentary of the OPL seed library, we also have these biodegradable seed starting pots and a package of marigold seeds that you can grow and then transfer to your larger pot when ready. All right, so we're just going to put our pots off to the side. And we're going to start by weeding our vinyl. So again, we're just going to remove the excess vinyl from around our design so that you end up with what we see on the right here. So all the pieces in your envelope will look like the piece on the left. And as you can see from the shimmer, there is a slight indentation from where the machine cut into the vinyl. So we want to remove anything around our cut line. And I'm going to use my weeding tool, but you can use the skewer or any other sharp object that you have laying around. And what we're going to do is try to lift from one corner and slowly peel back the excess vinyl. Now, if you notice some of the cut design is also being lifted up, you can just use your tool to lightly press it down back onto the white waxy backing paper. So just work slowly, it does take some patience, and always starting from one corner and helping it along the way. So we're going to go ahead and do that with all our other pieces here. And starting from a corner once again, and you can see here it didn't stay attached to the backing, so I'm just going to use the edge of my weeding tool to just kind of hold down the area from the cut and then gently work away the excess. Now the next piece, the pink vinyl, is a butterfly shape. So this has some small pieces that you can see have already been lifted off of the backing, which is okay. So we just want to bring out the center pieces, as you can see here. So this is what it should look like once you weed it. So starting from a corner, peel that away. And then I'm going to come in here and get the little pieces from the wings. Now, when working with such a sharp tool, I only ever dig into vinyl that I'm going to be throwing away. If you use a skewer or a sharp object and dig it into the vinyl of the actual design, you'll end up with some punctures, which don't look as nice. So just be gentle with it and only pierce areas that you want to remove the vinyl. Now this process takes a lot of patience, especially when you have really small designs like these little circles on the tips of the butterfly wings. So I'm even using my fingernail just to brush the little pieces away, and sometimes static electricity can get them stuck on either your fingers or just other parts of the backing. So we just want to make sure they're completely removed from the white wax paper. So there you have it. And you're going to do the exact same thing for the rest of the pieces in your envelope. And for the sake of time, we're just going to go ahead and fast forward through this weeding process. But make sure to take your time, and if any pieces lift off the backing, you can always just place them back down using tweezers or your fingers. All right, with our designs all ready to go, we're going to use transfer tape to now take our designs and transfer it to our planter. Now, I'm using a tea towel here just to hold my planter steady for the sake of this video. You can always work on your lap or just get some soft surface to place this down, and you're just going to rotate the pot as you place your stickers. Now with the transfer tape, we are going to cut it to size, and it should roughly be the same size or a little bit bigger than the sticker you're trying to transfer. So here I've cut mine down to size, and I'm going to peel it away from the backing. And you'll see one side is sticky, and that's what we're going to place down onto our weeded vinyl. So we're going to try to align it, making sure that it fully covers our design. And then we're going to gently from the center work our way out. And this is where I'm actually going to grab a credit card. And we're going to use this as a scraper to create good adhesion between the transfer tape and our design. So working from the center, we're going to apply medium pressure and just scrape back and forth across the top of the transfer tape, getting a nice bond between these two materials. Now you want to avoid bubbles, and that's why I always work from the center outwards. Next, we're going to grab our transfer tape and we're going to peel it away from the white backing. And you can see here that I have a really good transfer onto the tape, but if you notice any of your design isn't lifting off the wax paper, you can always place the transfer tape back down and use your scraper just to go over that area again. So this looks pretty good. So the next step is to align our transfer tape with our design on our planter. So just eyeball it, trying to make it as straight as possible. And once again, always work from the inside out, especially when working with a curved surface. This is going to avoid any bubbles. So just like how we transferred the design to the tape, we're now going to use our scraper to transfer the design to our planter. So I'm just going over it with medium pressure and just scraping back and forth. Once you think you have a good transfer, you can go ahead and peel back the transfer tape. And you can see here that my text is successfully transferred to the pot. But if you notice any of your design was still stuck to the transfer tape, just gently place it back down and use your scraper to go over that area again. Now your transfer tape should still have some tack to it, so we're actually going to reuse it to transfer the rest of our designs. But you will have extra transfer tape in your kit, so if you notice that it's not successfully transferring material, you can always grab a new piece. So we're just going to go ahead and choose where we want our different decals on our pot and do the same transfer process. So we're laying the tape onto our design, using our scraper to transfer it to the tape, removing the backing, and then carefully placing it onto our planter, working from the center outwards to avoid bubbles. You'll then take your scraper to transfer it fully onto your pot. You can then peel back the transfer tape And you now have your second successful transfer. So we're going to go ahead and do that same process for all of the stickers we want to apply to our pot. Now you don't have to use them all, you can pick and choose where you want to place them and how many. Now with the dragonfly design, you could cut out each dragonfly individually, but what I'm actually going to do is just apply the transfer tape to one at a time. And this is just personal preference. If you prefer, you can transfer them all in one go. And you can actually see here that when I went to transfer it, I actually pulled up the wing of one of the other designs. So I'm just going to place it back down onto the backing. And there you have it, your customized Earth Day Everyday Planter. Now you can start growing your marigold seeds and transfer them into this pot when they're in full bloom. So we hope you enjoyed this take and make, and feel free to send us a picture at creationzone@opl.ca or tag us on social. Thanks for joining us.